most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin a.k.a. MMAnomaly, Emiliano a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano, and Alex Pip a.k.a. Pip's Piano Tips.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as usual, is the co-host with the most, or I should say both. I got Jive Turkey Nano, and I got Pip's Piano Tips, folks. It is, it is just the best kind of recap show, folks. We got it all. So first things first, Jive Turkey. I feel like you've flown the Koopa a little bit here lately. You got a lot going on outside of work. How the fuck you been, brother?
I've been fantastic, brother. Appreciate you asking. Great to see you both, and great to have all of y'all live with us in the flesh, or maybe later on if you're streaming this. We appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Do all that fun stuff, man. Let us know how y'all were feeling, because this was a hell of a card, boys. Hell of a card. I just couldn't happen to miss it, man. Life's going on, but never too busy for the boys. I'm settled in here in San Francisco now. Life is good, and I hope it's treating y'all well also. Pitt. Great to see you, brother. How you feeling after that hell of a fight card, brother?
Oh, you're not lying. Hell of a fight card indeed. I'm doing great, especially after a card like this. We had some depressing fights for me, but all I know, the boys are back in town here, so I'm good.
Let's go.
So to put it into perspective, I was doing shots, and Pip was drinking on a mixed drink, and then the second the Adesanya fight ended, I'm like, well, I think I might be done drinking for the night. And I look over, and this guy has chugged his drink and is just pouring, I believe, Hennessy into the cup.
I was drinking out the bottle.
Just like
Henny, VSOP,
brother. I told him, like, when the fight started, I was like, you're about to have either the best hangover of your life or the worst hangover of your life tomorrow morning. Turned out I was right about one of those two things. Pyfer versus who next? I want DDP. We'll definitely go through that. Why don't we jump right on into it? Why don't we rip off the Band-Aid, as they say, and let's talk about this main event, folks. So, starting at the top, we had Joe Pyfer versus Israel Adesanya in the middleweight division. Izzy looked really great in the first round, in my opinion. He really was controlling the distance with that signature striking style that we've seen. But we've seen something happen with him, and it's the opposite way it typically happens for most fighters, right? While his body hasn't really shown many signs of slowing down lately, his fight IQ seems to be stuck in the mud or possibly degrading to an extent. He's always had toughness, but lately I feel like he's relying on that, and toughness as a buff, right? Even if you have toughness as a buff in a video game, that's your ace in the hole. You're not leading with the toughness buff. It's not that kind of move. It's not the thing you want to start relying on and letting yourself get sucked into brawls, which is exactly what we saw go wrong for him on Saturday night. He won that first round, in my humble opinion, and then in the second round, he ate a shot and let himself get sucked into a brawl. And just by doing that, Pyfer was able to flip the script in round two and get the stoppage. Massive, massive win for the young gun. Definitely the biggest of his entire career. But again, like, you can't just start brawling when you're one of the greatest distance strikers we've ever seen inside of the octagon. And that's exactly what he started to do more often than not. I don't know, man. What would I like to see for what's next? We'll talk about what's next actually after you guys give your breakdowns. Pip, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a very depressing way to end just a fantastic card. It's always rough for me to watch Izzy fight, win or lose, just as much as you guys saw on the watch along. Just a lot of emotion, and unfortunately, but I guess fortunately for Joe Pyfer, he was able to get an impressive finish over the greatest middleweight of all time. Like you said, I mean, Izzy had a hell of a first round. He was chopping at the leg, even took him off of his feet at one point. He was defending the takedowns. He was able to frame and circle out. The feints were heavy, and Joe was biting hard. Once he saw Pyfer was dipping to that right, he threw a left straight, and he was able to hit him multiple times. And Joe was just eating the shots. He even landed a flying knee, and that shot would have put a lot of people out, but Joe showed to actually have a pretty decent chin. And as much as I don't like to talk about it, I mean, Joe had a lot of success slipping the jab. He was able to use the reach to more his advantage. He did a good job at slipping, then landing his own offense in the pocket, or finding a way to get in the clinch. Either way, it was very effective at getting past the reach and engaging in the pocket. Izzy did show issues. I mean, stepping forward, throwing his arms out to grab the wrists of Pyfer, and Joe was able to land some heavy hooks that Adesanya ate clean. He managed to get the takedown and end the round on top as well. Then the second round, Izzy engaged in the pocket way too much. Kind of like you said, Unc. Stood in front of Pyfer, wasn't using the head movement, or the reaction time just isn't there anymore. Thought he smelt blood in the water after landing some clean right straights. Adesanya got way too comfortable, got hit in the pocket multiple times, and he actually started trading. I mean, Izzy's not that type of fighter to just go in hands down, and that's what he did. I mean, he got hit with a few clean shots, a nice right hand that hurt Izzy bad. Once Joe got mount and just unloaded shots, the ref saw enough. But I'm trying to look at it, from the positives. I have to respect the performance that Adesanya put on. He could have played it safe. He could have tried to stay at range, but he wanted to fight. We didn't see Izzy versus Yoel. He put the heat on Joe. He was looking for the finish. And as the greatest of all time said, you keep going again and again and again. He's not fucking leaving. So the resurgence is going to be spectacular. But Nano, what'd you think on this fight?
My man, great breakdown from you both there. And that definitely got me hyped up. And I agree with what you said. It was bittersweet. I think going into it, I was nervous as hell. I'm sure like a lot of us were. You got a 36-year-old Izzy Adesanya. You got a Joe MF and Pyfer coming in, 29 years young, 7 age difference, and a new hairline as well. So, this guy was going to come in motivated. We knew this. And
some would say the greatest comeback in mixed martial arts history is that hairline.
It's in the conversation for sure. Which is a conversation for another day. I digress. Yeah, man. And then as it was going on, I just felt like it was two high-level mixed martial artists, two legitimate, contenders, two guys that are worth main event status, going out there and deploying their game plan. The calf kicks and switching it up. And like you mentioned, there was one knee somewhere in the midst of that first round that typically hurts a lot of opponents, maybe puts a lot of people out, but Joe's just tough as nails. God, he's just so big, so strong. He looks like a heavyweight out there. And unfortunately, we're watching the sport sort of develop where all these big boys, these weight bullies, are now also highly skilled, highly touted, highly favored, if you will. But yeah, man, to wrap it up, like it was great for Izzy until it wasn't. Stuff in the takedowns, and then in that second round, you seen him kind of, I don't know if it was a stamina endurance type thing or like Olin said, maybe losing some of that confidence or knowing, okay, I took some shots that hurt. Now I'm just gonna make it a brawl, and that's the worst thing you want to do, right? You eat a tough big shot, you want to try to return it. I think he did make it a little. He got away from the mixed martial arts and turned it into a fight, and that did favor a Joe Pyfer. Again, where Izzy was hitting him, but they just weren't phasing our boy Joe Pyfer, man. He's too big, too strong, too young, too motivated. And Izzy, again, motivated me, and it was exciting to hear his grace and being humble and just be like, hey, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep going. I mean, yeah, not everyone can be an undefeated, lifelong competitor, but he's going to go out there. He's going to give it his all every time, and I'll pay to see him. But man, it just feels like the sport's starting to pass him up, doesn't it? I don't know what I want to see next for Izzy. Maybe it's like a legend fight or someone else on the back nine. I don't know. Maybe he even considers going up or down a weight division and just making it like a fun fight. And then if you're Joe Pyfer, I mean, sky's the limit, right? I mean, what do you boys feel? I mean, do you put him into the contender status, or there's a lot of shuffling, so maybe time will tell.
I mean, I would say Sean Strickland, but Sean Strickland has already matched up against Khamzat Chimaev. DDP would make a lot of sense to WMC's point, but the two names that I had written down are Nasruddin Imavov and Kyle Bohayo. I think both of those names make a lot of sense from a trajectory standpoint and a meritocracy standpoint.
I mean, beating Izzy Adesanya is huge. Like, even the fact that Joe got that nod, I think is huge for his career. It's a huge accomplishment as a fighter, but also title contention status, right? And you mentioned those two guys. I thought I saw a rumor that DDP and Nasruddin were potentially going to fight.
Oh, that'd be a good fight.
That would make a lot of sense. That would be the obvious number one contender status, but that would obviously rule both of them out. And I mean, are we forgetting about our boy BA, Brandon All In Allen, right? I mean, there's a lot of guys I don't want to.
I think BA has a fight lined up now
with Shabazian, doesn't he?
Yeah, with Edmund Shabazian.
Isn't that wild?
That's a weird fuck fight, bro.
That is a weird one.
That's a weird fight, bro. You know what else is weird? I've been hearing rumors in the rumor mill that International Fight Week is happening this year, outside of the Donald Trump fight card.
Yeah, I heard that they had like a June 11th.
So,
okay,
very, very confusing stuff.
I'm right there with you on Joe Pyfer. I think Caio Berhala is a great matchup for Joe Pyfer.
That's the one I want.
And I gotta give for what's next for Izzy, because he's not leaving. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there with a Roman Dolidze. I think that could be a winnable match for him.
Roman's a fun shout. I was gonna say we all know that Paulo Costa is about to go out there and get slimed out by Azamat Murzakanov just the day before my birthday, April 11th. Why not run that one back? That was a fun fight. That was the last time he had a really fun finish. He literally dry humped the guy inside of the octagon. I mean, why don't we run that back? That's fun. Nato, you have any legend fights on the tip of your tongue for Izzy?
I mean, you guys mentioned some great names. I think anyone, Izzy's going to be the A side, and we'll pay to watch him fight. But I'll throw in a different name because this guy's a hell of a striker, and I don't see either of these guys attempting to take down. What about a little CLD? Christian Leroy Duncan. Okay, sitting in the 13th spot. Really, really like his name and just what he's been doing recently.
I don't like that for Izzy at all.
I hate it for
gotta
him.
be
I was a little worried about that for Izzy.
Not every fight. You give him Renier de Quitter. I mean, that's a much more winnable fight for him. Like, CLT is fucking scary, bro.
Scary dude.
That's not the guy. That's
striker.
not the guy that I want.
Light. I know it. I don't either.
I don't know. Do I think it'd be a good fight? Yes. Do I think it would be a little bit too competitive for it to be fun to watch? Yes, also.
I have had a few people shout out Yousri versus Adesanya for his next fight.
Oh.
I don't like that fight either for Izzy.
No, the guy just made his fucking debut, didn't he?
He did, but the kickboxing experience that he already has kind of builds up a good story.
He looked great too,
but that's just
against a different caliber opponent. But yeah, he did look pretty solid. And he's like, what, 6'7"?
I don't like that.
Just been one I've been hearing a lot.
6'7"? I found out my little sister watches the show, so I got to throw one of those in there every once in a while, right? Women's flyweight. Let's go ahead and move on, boys. To, lo and behold, one of, if not the most vicious, visceral finish I have ever seen. It's being called a knockout / TKO. Not going to fight that. Not going to argue that. Did she also get choked out? Yes. Yes, she did. She did also get knocked out first, and the ref was trying his damnedest to get there and stop it. But you're talking about two little Tasmanian devils of female fighters here at women's flyweight, and Alexia Grasso was just in so quick on that. Nano, I'll let you take the lead on this one. What were your thoughts on this fight? Did you see it playing out this way? Because I know you weren't able to make the prediction show. Did this play out the same as you thought it would?
Man, I mean, not necessarily in that exciting a fashion, right? Not in the sense of how we're looking at it now and how I feel about it now. Shout out WMC Izzy versus Gastelum rematch. That'd be a hell of a fight. I'm assuming you mean Izzy versus Fluffy as well there, not issue, but WMC, I like where your head's at. Those are both solid shouts, and that's the point here. I think moral of the story: anyone Izzy fights, we're all going to tune in and watch, right?
I will say, I don't want Nano to feel like I'm ganging up on him. I don't like the Fluffy one for the same reason I don't like the CLD one. Fluffy presents stylistic nightmares for Izzy, so I'm a no on that. But I do love the Kelvin Gastelum rematch. That's a fun shout.
There we go. Yeah, I like that. I like more of that caliber for sure. But man, Alexia Grasso, I mean, she stole the show, didn't she? On a night that had so much excitement, that had so many wow moments. I mean, this is the one that's really, soaring over all those other moments. And in my opinion, an early front runner for KO of the year. Let's call it what it is, guys. Like, that was absolutely fantastic. On the money. To answer your question directly, I thought Alexia would have a good chance to win. I thought Macy Barber was going to pose some serious threats, but did not anticipate that finish at all, my brother. I am not going to sit here and, be on my high horse. Like, I was a fan. I was just as ecstatic. And I felt like they were exchanging that entire time. Like, I did like how aggressive Alexia was. I did really like how aggressive her opponent was as well. In a Macy Barber, like it just everything about that, and then just the finish, and then to your point, I mean, I guess I don't know if it's considered both a KO and a sub. Alexia says it's both. I'll give her both. I mean, man, whether it's KO or sub of the year, that better win some sort of award, maybe both. Shout out Kentucky Kayaker, let's go. I haven't been that worried about a fighter since the Emmett Mitchell fight. Yeah, and Kentucky brings up a great point. Facts. Here. Not to dive too much into it, I'll dish it off to AP, but man, I mean, yeah, seeing Macy there virtually eyes open but unconscious for that long was a little scary. And Alexia sitting there as well, it just felt like, man, this maybe we need to cut to a commercial break or something, but that was definitely scary. AP, man, what a fight. How did you see it? What were your thoughts, man, and how you feeling?
Yeah, I was definitely picking Macy on that fight. I lost $5 on that fight, but it takes two to tango. And they definitely got into it. I mean, it was a brutal knockout from Grasso. And this, kind of like you said, I mean, this might actually be one of the worst knockouts that I've seen, or at least in a very long time. That straight hand landed, the right hook Macy caught her with when she was down. And then Grasso synced up that rear naked choke. And it was beautiful, but brutal all in the same fashion. I mean, that was just an MMA finish in its core. She went to sleep when that right hook landed. Then she got the choke, and Olin, you actually mentioned this on the watch along, but she was getting ready to bite her tongue off, and then Mike Beltran definitely saved a life that night. She passed out right after trying to grab a single leg on Mike, and then she was out for a long time after that. And like I said, I lost money on this fight, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But Grasso found some really good leg kicks. It became quickly a boxing fight right after that. Macy was trying to back Grasso against the fence, and it was more of a straight versus looping issue. She found that right hand before the KO. Macy rushed in, threw it, didn't have her hands where they were supposed to be, and she caught her again doing the same thing, caught her clean, and then hit her with the hook and locked up that choke. I mean, it was just so fast. It was just a very impressive statement for Grasso, and I'm definitely looking forward to her next fight. What do you got on this one, Uncle Olin?
Yeah, I mean, as WMC alluded to earlier, Pip does not leave a lot of meat on the bone. He is not one for waste, and that's okay around here. The co-main event, as you've both said, it was absolute violence personified, right? Alexia Grasso knocked out and choked out her opponent in one of the most vicious finishes I think I've ever witnessed in UFC or MMA history, let alone. She sparked Macy Barber out with a clean left, and then she followed it up with that hook on the ground, and we saw the jaw snap sideways. Like, even just doing that, like, you could probably just heard my neck pop. Like, what do you think her fucking neck did, kid? She didn't choose to do that. It happened involuntarily. She was putting some force against that. So after that happened, within a half of a second, maybe an eighth of a second, she gets choked out as well for good measure. Statement win for Grasso. If we've learned anything about this woman, it is that she has an absolute death grip when it comes to submissions. We saw it against Valentina Shevchenko. She wasn't even under the neck. She was on the jaw lining. And Valentina tapped pretty fucking quickly. Like, that tells you that the pressure she was putting on that jaw lining was probably making it feel like it was about to give. It was about to snap. And as somebody who's been there against much higher level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys than myself, not a fun feeling, boys. It's not a good one. 10 out of 10 would not recommend to you or your friend. So, I mean, this, again, just a phenomenal fight start to finish. As Nano said, both girls were trading out there. I really like to see the kind of reckless abandon they were throwing. You wouldn't think it if you looked at the numbers, right? But then again, it was less than a 3-minute fight. There were 12 strikes landed on one side to 5 on the other. I think it was fairly clear who was the better striker, and in every exchange, it just looked like, as Pip said, the looping shots versus the straight shots, and the straight shots coming from the more pure boxer and Alexia Grasso, they were going to beat those looping shots all day. And exactly what Nano was doing, for those of you that are watching the video rendition of the show, laser beams, as my boy Ty Coach calls it, right? Like having the hands glued, 2 points of contact. One hand goes forward, the other hand sucks back into guard. She was always there every time she was throwing. And that makes it very, very hard. That's the type of stuff that makes your opponent land 5 out of 25 attempted strikes, right? So what's next now? That's the biggest question on our minds. I mean, there's a couple of different options. Pip, did you have anybody on the tip of your tongue? I think I had you go last time on that.
For Grasso, it was a big statement. I don't know if it's enough to get right back there in title contention, but she's definitely close. So I wouldn't mind seeing like a Furiat Manone. I think that could be a really fun fight. And then if I'm going for Macy, I mean Macy needs a lot of time off for her next fight. When she comes back, I think Tracy Cortez could be a fun fight.
I agree with both of those, to be completely honest. I wouldn't mind seeing Tracy Cortez. I also wouldn't mind seeing somebody like a King Casey O'Neill, right? She just jumped back into the rankings, and that was a very, very fun fight, which we'll get into. Nano, any names on the tip of your tongue?
Yeah, I think it's one of those two that you mentioned. I think Manon Fior makes sense in terms of Alexia and her wantingness to get back into that title contention status and potential champion again one day. Probably won't get the next nod against Valentina. That's probably going to be Natalia Silva, if we're being honest. So I think Manon makes sense. They haven't fought yet. They're both 2-3. You can make the case for that number one contender after that. I mean, Tracy Cortez probably is the best like money fight, if you will. But yeah, I mean, I think one of those names I like a lot.
Yeah, I think Tracy Cortez versus Macy Barber would be a lot of fun. Be the two pretty girls. Also, both kind of up and down trajectories in their UFC careers. Again, just like I said a couple fights ago, from a meritocracy standpoint, it makes a lot of sense, and a trajectory standpoint for that matter. So, speaking of meritocracy, let's talk about a guy who had a lot of meritocracy in the UFC. I'm talking about a guy who has one of the coolest fucking stories you'll ever hear, right? Welterweight fighter Michael Maverick Chiesa coming in against Nico Price. I know Nico Price is your boy. I'm sorry for the loss. But Michael Chiesa, man, he did exactly what I said he'd do on the prediction show. I said he'd get him to the ground while they were very dry, and he would lock up a rear naked choke. He's so slick on the ground, and I think that's why Nico took this fight. Like, he was probably planning on retiring last fight with a win, and then he got beat, and so he didn't get that double paycheck. He has 7 mouths to feed, and he needs that paycheck to feed those fucking mouths, right? So it's tough if you're this guy to then say, all right, well, I guess I'm still going to retire. That's just not the move. So he accepted a fight against a guy that he knows is not going to knock him out. There's no risk of furthering any damage to his brain, even if he has any, right? And instead, worst case scenario, he goes out there and gets choked out. He wakes up a few minutes later and he gets the other half of his paycheck that he was expecting, then gets to retire. I think that's what we saw happen on Saturday, boys. And for Michael Chiesa, he becomes, to my knowledge, the third man in the modern UFC era to win a UFC fight after not landing a single strike. I told you he wasn't going to do any damage, bro. It's just, it's a thing that happens. So every now and then I'm very correct. And this was one of those I was very correct on. Now, getting to the story of Michael Chiesa, this man made it into the UFC live season the day his, I believe, father died. And then he had his final fight on his parents' wedding anniversary. He won the season on his mom's birthday. Like, the stars align moments that this guy has had across his UFC career, through the good, the bad, and the ugly, is truly, truly just awe-inspiring. So I love to see it. I'm happy we got to see another one outside of just Robbie Lawler, who, again, to my knowledge, it's just been Robbie Lawler and Khabib who have been able to retire on top, or retire with a feel-good story, so to speak. So good to see a third added to that list. Big fan of Michael Chiesa, always have been, always will be. What's next for him? Hopefully a couple of beers and some not over-the-counter goods from Cowboys Ranch. Nano, what are you thinking on this one, bro?
Yeah, it was short and sweet and all business for our boy, Michael Chiesa. I mean, 1 total strike in this fight. Dude just looks so much bigger than his opponent. I mean, it didn't even look fair, but he's a savvy vet. He did what he does best, and all did it within a minute's time. So got to give credit where it's due. In terms of what's next, I don't even know if I'd care to matchmake or see who he matches up with next. Like, I mean, someone like a Nico Price or maybe another OG, triple OG makes sense, but it feels like he's doing more color.
Wait, did you just say fight Nico Price again?
No, I was saying like someone like a Nico Price would
I
make
was like-
sense, but run it back. No, sorry,
Like they
sorry,
that just happened like 4 days ago, bro. And they both retired, so no need for matchmaker on this.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, we're good then. Good seeing him.
You're good.
We're good. We're good.
What's next? Commentary desk.
That is what's next for Chiesa. But I mean, yeah, Chiesa does it again, submitting Nico rear naked choke in the first round. This was his 13th submission in his professional career, 9th submission in the UFC. He showed us why he went on the run that he did. He's fought the elite of the elite, and he's had a hell of a career. And like you said, Olin, I mean, perfect story for this guy, honestly. Nobody really gets to go out on these fairy tale endings, so it was really nice. But I mean, my boy Nico, I mean, he came out with a lot of pressure. Really just made the mistake of trying to grapple with Chiesa early. He was, he actually defended a few takedowns, but you know how it goes when you're fighting Chiesa, and eventually he was able to get the back, slam him to the ground. Just showed that he was on a different level with the grappling. Got the arm around the neck, and then Nico tapped almost immediately, and it was, a great ending to a great career. Thank you, Nico, for letting the legends live on. As you mentioned, two of these fairy tale endings have now been allowed by Nico Price. So we thank you for your service. And I'm happy. I'm happy Chiesa is going to stay on the mic. So it always feels nice when they retire, but they don't really directly leave the sport.
Absolutely. And Chris Cushman, real ones do remember the Nico upkick against not Michael, James the Texecutioner Vic. I don't know why I know that, but I do. Actually, can you fact check me on that? May I just pulled that out of my ass? No, I think it was James Vick, who later went on to Karate Combat to lose there as well.
So he had a nasty finish against Randy Brown too, where he was off of his back. I don't know if that was an up kick or that was punches.
Yeah, I think it may be like a hammer fist from the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah, I think it was a hammer. Like he rolled into it, like Carlos Condit style, if I remember correctly. Musayev blatantly cheated. We were robbed of the Bahamundes KO, and fuck it, we ride, brother. It was a tough night for bets. We were robbed a couple times. That Yanez one would have looked real nice, and I thought he did enough, if I'm being perfectly honest there. I'm going to go ahead and pour up a shot for Michael Chiesa because I feel like doing one for him instead of Juicy J losing.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do it a fight early.
Hell yeah.
Say it counts for both if you want.
Keep it
But either way, if you're drinking, drink with us. And if not, drink water or Coke, like my boy to my far right is. Either way, we appreciate you for being here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and smash that bell for notifications. And cheers.
Hello.
What? He retired? Yeah, exactly. They didn't give him any chance on the mic, which I'm going to be honest. I had wrote this in my notes, but I forgot to actually read it. I'm not necessarily mad about that. And I know that's your boy, but it's not his moment, right? Like, that'd be like going to your best friend's wedding and like while they're exchanging vows being like, by the way, we're pregnant. It's just not about you today, kid. This is something they've planned for many months and they knew this was coming. Yours is like, surprise! That's kind of a dick move in general. So if they would have given him the mic, I don't feel like that would have been necessary or fair, to be completely blatant and honest. And I know you don't like this, brother. But no. Let's talk about a fight that I'm obviously stalling because I don't want to talk about. I don't talk about it. It's a featherweight bout between Juicy J, Julian Erosa, and Lerryan Douglas. Nano, I don't think you've gone first. What were your thoughts on this fucking banger?
Bro, sheesh, would be my one-word answer to that. First and foremost, before I dive in, shout out Grimy. Shout out Big Grimes. What up? How we doing? Great to have you. As always. Cushman as well. WMC, always keeping it live and thriving in the chats. We appreciate y'all. But man, what a freaking fight, my brother. This was just an absolute masterclass. And I'm a big Juicy J guy. The rapper and the fighter, Julian Erosa.
Bro,
So
I was telling Pip, because you weren't on the show this past week, like every single time he's been a dog, he has won us money. Like we are up money, multiple units because of Juicy J. Yeah. And he was a heavy dog, so I was like, here we go again.
Yeah. And I was not familiar with Lerryan or Lerryan, however you want to look at it. I believe it was Lerryan.
I've been calling him Larian, like a fucking knight of the round table, because that motherfucker hits like he's got armor on or something, bro.
I know he's from Brazil, so I don't know how the Portuguese do the double R. I heard them say on the commentary Lerryan Douglas, so I'm gonna assume that's probably what it is. But please, somebody correct us if I'm wrong in the chat there. Anyways, man, that dude is, and I want to get it right because we're gonna be saying his name much more often in the future. Dude is absolute savage, hell of a master class when it comes to the boxing, when it comes to the striking pedigree, and really, I think what impressed me the most was his willingness and his discipline to stay within the box, right? He wasn't overextending on any of the punches, even if he was willing to whiff. It kind of reminded me of an Ilia Topuria or like a Mike Tyson, not to just throw out some of the best boxers, in their times, but more so just about that style, that phone booth type kind of head down in the middle of your chest and keeping it all within that kind of box. Like I was saying, I just loved how sharp he was, how balanced his strikes were, and that patience to just really methodically get rid of Juicy J. And it could have been stopped and should have been stopped earlier, in my opinion. But hey, shout out to the fighters giving him every chance. Juicy J's a savage, but man, he just did not have enough. I mean, he started getting dropped by the jabs, boys. That thing was filthy. Really tough name to say, to be honest. Thank you, Lane.
I looked up the phonetics on it and was able to get an assist here. It is Lerryan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Lerryan. So we weren't far off, bro. We weren't far off.
I've just been calling him Douglas.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair. That's his,
the Dougie.
That is his sure name. That's hella funny, bro. I just been calling him Douglas. Holy fuck. Yeah, look, I don't have much to say on this one other than I'm bummed. I already poured up my shot and did it pre-fight breakdown here. Lerryan Douglas was hitting jabs like he was one of those pistol shrimp or mantis shrimp on fucking National Geographic. Like I know I sent you two the video of that shrimp just piecing up a fucking crab and just shattering the shell of a crab with his little bubble fucking blast like a goddamn Pokemon, bro. That's what Lerryan looked like in there. This motherfucker was hitting a jab like it was honestly a well-oiled machine. And he dropped him twice, both times with jabs. Like, the guy's jab is disgustingly fast. A lot of fighters, like, I think Cushman said he jabs like Anderson Silva. Like, Anderson Silva has, like, a fencer's jab, where he stands bladed almost and just comes in like a sword to stab you with it. And that is effective. That does hurt, especially when you know how to utilize it in the way in which Anderson Silva does. I thought his was more of just like a classic boxer, just turnover. He's turning his whole fucking hand over. Boom, boom, boom. And he's fucking launching his hips in. Kinetic force. Like my first Muay Thai coach, Tomas Nomas Dion, called it digging in the sand, right? Digging his toes into the fucking canvas mat and turning his hip over before anything else upper body even moves. Kinetic force transferring from the tips of his toes all the way through the edge of his fucking fist into those shots. Like, it's nasty, nasty work when you see somebody that actually knows how to fundamentally jab and use it as a weapon rather than a tester. I'm going to jump off the fucking bar stool because I feel like I'm Pip or something, leaving so little meat on the bone here. Pip, what you got, brother?
Yeah, and those shrimp are called mantis shrimp. They could punch like as hard as a 22. Like they're really cool shrimp. Anyway,
yeah, literally the force of a gunshot underwater.
Yeah. If you haven't seen them, look up a mantis shrimp. But you'll waste like an hour and you'll have so much fun. But it just like Douglas, the mantis shrimp over here. I mean, it was a spectacular finish. He was able to get the KO in round one. Pretty much made quick work of Julian. Just insane power with strong pressure. That's kind of strong pressure boxing style. Calf kicks from Douglas that he landed on Julian's leg were money. He was backing him up because of them. Douglas landed nukes, rocked Julian multiple times with his jab. Kind of like you said, Nano. I mean, the power and speed on that stiff jab was insane. Put him down like 4 different times. Busted up the nose bad. And once he started landing that right hand behind it, I mean, it was over. I mean, we're starting to see this style evolve more in MMA, kind of like you alluded to, Nano. I mean, like the Ilia Topurias, and I mean, even Mike Tyson, it's a really good example. I mean, that heavy pressure boxing style. I mean, Douglas looked great out there. He showed us that he can compete at this level, especially against a dangerous opponent. And I can't wait to see him get back in there in the cage. I don't know if you guys had any names on the tip of your tongue for this guy, but he's definitely someone to keep an eye on for.
he's definitely someone to keep an eye out for. And real quick, as I tried to tap, but I guess it thought I was spamming comments on my own YouTube channel. It's a video of a mantis shrimp walking up to a crab and hitting him like 4 or 5 times, blasting his whole ass shell apart, bro. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. I just thought it literally reminded me of Lerryan Douglas. Or as my homie to my right calls him, Douglas.
Doug.
Oh, man.
I like Doug, too. That's so much easier.
Doug's good. Dougie Fresh. I mean, he just beat Juicy J. Now he's Dougie Fresh. Look, I mean, call me crazy. You guys can kick me off the bar stool whenever you want here. I'd like to see this guy get pushed pretty far, pretty fast, right? Like, Giga Chikadze's coming off 3 back-to-back losses. That's a fun one. David Onama. Another really fun shout. And then last but certainly not least, the Boston finishers. He's still in the UFC after 5 losses back-to-back-to-back. Calvin Kattar. Oh. He's a good boxer. He's a really good fucking boxer. Like, how does that fare when he has someone who's equally as good at boxing as him? Maybe not so much power, but the fundamentals are there. Groundwork's there.
Yeah, I like that shout. Big jump in competition, I would say. I was almost thinking more of the lines of like an Andre Touchy-Feely. I think it'd be a really fun fight.
Ooh.
It'd be a good fight, but I don't like that for my boy. Any more than I like those fights Nano and fucking WMC said for your boy earlier. I don't like that at all.
My bad. It's a touchy subject.
Too soon. There's some dogs, though, man. There's some dogs in this division. But I think he does fare well. I mean, after seeing that, I mean, I'd be curious to see his grappling. But someone like a Pitbull, Patricio Pitbull, I think he's fighting soon, though, actually. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Josh Emmett just lost pretty recently. Maybe that's someone just because they both fought, right? You can make the timing make sense. But that's a big one, man. I don't know. It's a big jump in competition. But that was a hell of a performance by Doug. So I wouldn't mind that. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's not crazy, bro. Like, Juicy J was 32 on Tapology. Qatar's only 24. He's still legal age, bro. He's not getting too young in them rankings.
You're right. Thank you for clarifying. No, you're right. I do like Qatar. I think that's a good one.
Calvin Qatar, get him some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Fucking coffee. Morgan is a good shout. Morgan Charrier. The last pirate. I thought about saying Chepe Mariscal, but I like Lerryan. I also like Chepe. And that would be like me slamming like a Goku and a Vegeta toy against each other. I don't want to break either one of them. You know what I mean? They're both fucking dope. I want to see those toys keep smashing all the other ones. So let's go ahead and move on into the next one. A fight in which I was wrong about. We had Mansour Abdul Malik coming in against Yousri Belgaroui. And I'm going to let Pip go first on this one just because I love the way he says the names.
Yeah, Yousri Belgaroui. I mean, he put on a clinics with Mansour. I don't know if I'm saying that one right either, but you can definitely tell that he trains with Alex, the way that he fights. The way that he was in the pocket, slipping shots, landing hooks, body shots.
Congrats, MMAnomaly Show. You've got a Sterling. I'm just kidding, bro.
It's here. But yeah, Belgaroui, he was landing nasty shots. I mean, he found that perfect knee up the middle, backing Mansour up, pulled his head down, found the knee. It was textbook. He kept the range where he wanted it every time that Mansour would come in. He was chopping at the legs, nice jab, came up instead of being kind of straight from the guard. They were more just kind of from the hip shots. They made it more tough to see. And when the takedowns did come, he did a great job staying on his feet. The time he did get stuck, he was able to kind of take Mansour's left arm and put it under his own leg to kind of like push him up. It was actually like slick defense to get out of some of those spots. Once he was back to his feet, he was sniping him from the range, landed some nasty knees in that tie clinch, clipped him with a huge right hand. If it went 5 more seconds, he would have been out in that second round. Another thing Yousri had success with as well was just kind of pulling the head of Mansour. It was almost like a big brother moment too, where he would kind of like, they'd put their hand on your head and you kind of just be throwing like wing meals and you wouldn't hit nothing because their arms are so long. But I mean, seriously, it was really effective. He was able to kind of blind him, throw the left hand behind it. It was just kind of a masterclass from
School
Belgaroui.
of John Jones.
Yeah, exactly. What'd you get on this one, Nano?
Yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a performance by the slender man himself, a.k.a. Yousri Belgaroui. Dude was an absolute stud. I mean, I think he was someone that fought Izzy, or not Izzy, excuse me, Alex Bejeda, right? Back in the kickboxing days.
He fought Izzy and Alex.
Oh, he did fight Izzy as well. So yeah,
beat Alex once and lost to Izzy twice. I just had to say that.
Okay. See, so this is someone that comes in with a lot of pedigree, right?
Lost to Alex twice. Context.
Twice. 2 times.
They fought 3 times. Sorry, Pip. Try to one up me with the fucking facts on my show. Not today, kid.
I'm in a factual war over here, but no, listen, y'all are both right, okay? Give credit where it's due. It's both to y'all to the left and right of me. But man, this was a hell of a fight, right? I mean, the calf kicks and the knees were the big differentiators, and just the size. I mean, he's that big, he's that tall. Monsieur had a couple opportunities to try to take him down, and Yousri was just too athletic for him. Good coaching by Coach Nixick in the corner there for Monsieur, but just not enough, man. I mean, he took some really heavy damage. I'm surprised they even let him get back out there. But it was really an uphill battle. And Yousri is a tall mountain to climb, right? This guy's like a Mount Everest out there. Dude's tall as shit. He's got the skills, and he's getting better in the mixed martial arts octagon. In the rule set, with the gloves, with the distance. He's going to be a problem. He is someone like we're talking about with the previous fighter and our boy Dougie Fresh. Like I wouldn't mind seeing him get catapulted up into some high level competition. Like I really, really wouldn't mind it. We can talk about names here in a second, but MMAnomaly, my brother, what did you think?
Speaking of talking about names, I have the man to my far right talking about dinosaurs with a Manosaurus Rex. I have the man in the middle speaking French right now. Bonjour.
Monsieur.
I fucking love you guys so much, dude. Mansour Abdul Malik came out here like a man on a mission who did not know what that mission was. You like the change there? Change the momentum? No, he proved on Saturday that if you survive round 1 against Mansour Abdul Malik, you can likely win a fight against him. He got knocked out by Yousri in round number 3 at 3 minutes and 39 seconds in. As usual, you guys did not leave a ton of meat on the bone. That's okay. I still love you. He landed a beautiful, beautiful knee from a clinch. Just rocked his opponent's shit. As Pip already said, I'll repeat it anyway. If there were just 5 or so seconds left in round 2, my goodness gracious me, he could have got finished there. Oh no! All in all, it was a very good fight. If your name is Yousri Belgaroui, I thought it was a great nod for him against pretty high level competition, not top level competition, but fairly high level competition. Pip, do you have a name on the tip of your tongue? I imagine you do.
Yeah, for Yousri Belgaroui, I think we could do an Abus Magomedov. I think that could be a fun fight.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a great name.
That's way farther up than I was going to go with him, but I'm not mad at it at all. Nano, what you got?
I don't know, man. I was drawing blanks here. What do you think, brother? Let me hear your name first as I stall for time. I
got 2 names for you. You can piggyback on one of them if you'd like. So my higher name is Mikhail Husar Oleksiejczyk, right? I think he's riding a high. He's on 3-fight win streak, and Yousri is on a 5-fight win streak. So these guys are both on a very similar trajectory. They're both looking very, very good, and they're both looking very fucking dangerous, especially on the feet. I say let these guys go at it. If we don't want to go that high, which seems crazy after hearing fucking Abus Magomedov from my guy on the right, my other name was Jun Young Park, the Iron Turtle. A little Ninja Turtle action. Because the man has a very apropos nickname, boys, in the Iron Turtle. He is like a turtle made of iron. He is extremely durable. He's extremely tough to break and very resilient to the strikes out there. And maybe if Yousri goes out there and has somebody that lets him open up on him the way that Jun Young Park usually does, it feels like you're landing shots, but he's actually blocking or rolling with a lot of the shots that come his direction. It's great for tiring people out. It's how he wins 90% of his fights that he ends up winning. So it could be a recipe for disaster for Yousri, but it could also spell a very fun fight for us as fans and a very good test for both men.
Oof. These are all great names. I think I like the last one the most. I have a high admiration for the Iron Turtle, and I think that's a good name and a good person in terms of skill set and even what he brings to the octagon. You know, with his opponents, he's got the wrestling, he's got striking, and he seems to always have an answer, right? And this guy Yousri is obviously proven to be a tough puzzle to solve. So I think the Iron Turtle might have little teenage ninja mutant ninja turtle type little vibe to him. God, I can get that one out. But I like it, brother.
I like the Iron Turtle. That's a good shout.
That's exactly what happened in my brain. Oh my gosh, misfired.
I'm not playing it to hate on you. I'm playing it to remind you. It happens to even the best, you know?
Well said. Well said.
The way you worded this is such a dick thing to say, bro. You could let him try and KO Vettori. I don't know why I read that as if you're fucking Rocket Raccoon typing it. But you know, he could try and knock out Vettori. That could be a fun one. Vettori's had a tough couple of years, man. He just lost his brother. Give him a break. I don't like that matchup for him. Come on, stop being a fucking pussy. No, fucking match him up with Vettori. Why not, bro? With that being said, let's talk about a man that is one of few fighters that have a very, very bad allergy problem. And what that allergy is being allergic to a not fun fucking performance. We're talking about Terrence McKinney, the man who died and came back again, the man who fucking fought and came back to win. Jesus Christ, bro. Kyle Nelson. They like the monster killer Kyle, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Kyle got killed out there. Okay. It was tough fucking stuff, my boys. Again, like I said, Terrence McKinney just went out there, and if nothing else at all, he proved he is must-see TV. This is the fight where you do not get up to go grab another beer, right? You don't get up to get a refill on the ice or anything like that. You don't go out for a fucking smoke, right? Win, lose, or draw, kid puts on an exciting performance each and every single fucking time. And this time with a lightning fast finish. We're talking 24 seconds, folks. The man is absolutely disgusting with it. He's quick. He's slick. He can get it done with a punch or a kick. All right. I'm excited to see him get back in the win column. Lands a head kick, capitalizes on it with some quick ground and pound via hammer fists, and that's all she wrote. The lights go out in Seattle, folks. I personally can't wait to see what's next for him. I do have two names on the tip of my tongue, but before I say those, I'd like to hear your breakdowns, boys. Nano, what do you think?
I'll keep it short and sweet because I know AP is going to go ahead and dive on in over there, Mr. Pip himself. But, man, T-Rex went out there and wrecked some shit up, man. I mean, absolutely. Fatality is the right word, man. I mean, it was a flawless victory as well, if you put it that way. And I think a lot of it had to do with the excitement coming in, right? It was in T-Rex's backyard, in his hometown. You could tell that extra boost of adrenaline and that adrenaline dump, if you will, dumped all over freaking Kyle Nelson, man. Just dumped all over him. Absolute hell of a performance, hell of a kick, and hell of a finish, man. Absolute exclamation point. Can't wait to talk about what's next for him. AP, what did you see on this bout?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great fight for as long as it lasted, but another first-round finish for Terrence McKinney against a dangerous opponent. Took him 18 shots and 24 seconds to get this one done, but I mean, just good in and out footwork. Had Kyle backing up, landed a really good jab, bounced out, and then threw that heavy head kick. And it hurt Kyle bad. It was kind of wild because he had his hands up, even the knee was up, just as extra security. Kyle still couldn't take it. I mean, the power of Terrence is absolutely insane. The kick was blocked pretty well. I did not think it should have done that much damage.
That's what we call a two-hander, Pip.
I thought both of the hands were up. I could have sworn he had one about here, one here.
He had one partial. He had one partial, and he also was not turned 100% to reinforce it. He was turning into it. You're right. He reacted as well as a human possibly could. But as you're alluding to, Terrence McKinney has two things in his favor. One, he's got a shit ton of fucking power. And two, he's got a shit ton of fucking speed, bro. And 100%. Any striking coach, boxing, Muay Thai, doesn't matter what kind of striking, they will tell you speed kills. That boy's got it, bro. In spades.
100%. That was my next point. It's just the power of Terrence McKinney. It's just, I mean, it's absolutely insane. It's just like, I mean, just another dominating performance essentially for Terrence McKinney. And I mean, as far as for what's next for both, or for Terrence at least, I mean, I don't know if Dakar Close is still fighting or not, but I'd say I'd like to see that matchup. What do you guys got on this one?
Drakkar Close would be a very fun one. Nano, you have any lightweights on the tip of your tongue for young McKinney?
I definitely like a Drakkar Close. I like the idea of a savvy veteran, someone in that realm who is still highly ranked, right? They're not necessarily ranked in the top 15, but they're hovering around that area, right? Maybe a step or two behind. And I do like a Drakkar Close, but I got another one here, man. And I'm going to play a little Red Rover. Send Drew Dober on over here for a little T-Rex. It just feels like two guys that can easily land on a PPV pay-per-view here. Main event, right? Get T-Rex on there. You know he's gonna be fireworks, and you know Dober as well. I would take the under. I would take either of them by finish. That'll be a hell of a bout, and I like the name value on both of them.
That'd be a rematch 4 years in the making. Drew Dober knocked him out round number 1, 3 minutes and 17 seconds in with a knee to the face.
I was gonna say I'll take that rematch
back in 2022.
any day.
I'd love that rematch.
I would take that. I usually wouldn't, but that is one. I love that.
If we don't want to see a rematch and we want to really pole vault this guy up, right? I've got somebody in mind. Actually, no. I have two names. Let me give you both names. The first name is Nasrat Hopcross. I think that would make a lot of sense as far as a ranking standpoint. If you look at Tapology, they're fairly close to each other. Is it the funnest fight I can come up with? No, that's why I have a second name for you boys. The second name that I have, we just saw him fight. We just saw him get fucking screwed and robbed. And we want to see him bounce back. I don't know if this will be his chance to bounce back, but I know he won't lose any fans fighting a fucking Terrence McKinney. I'm talking about Ignacio Bahamondes. Boys, what do you think of that?
It's a great name. He did take a whooping. He might be out for a little while, but we'll talk about that. But I think Nasrat's solid. I mean, it may sound boring,
Terrence
but
isn't super active, is he? Oh, he fought 3 times last year. No, I stand corrected.
He may not want to wait. He took no damage either. He may take a short notice fight type thing.
Come on, don't be crazy.
Nasrat Hopcross. All right. Or the other names that you guys said, to be honest. I like yours way better. Whoa, what just happened? Nothing happened. Just kidding. I hit the edit. No, I accidentally hit the little pencil thing that edits the layout and it made everything disappear. I was like, oh no, did I just make all the cameras disappear? What am I doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here, folks? I wish I would have bet. I had both Grasso and Musayev. Tyler Betts. Your fucking name is Tyler Betts. What are you doing if you're not betting? Oh, exactly. Thank you, Nano. McKinney needs to fight Dober. You know he doesn't lose to Black.
And to be fair, he didn't.
Grimy, you're right. Wait, what do we say here? Right, I found a 7-legger ticket on the ground that paid out $20K. Only loss on it was Munster. Fuck! That's tough. That's tough. Man.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it, folks. Hate to see it. Man down. Let's go ahead and move on into the prelims, boys. We have another lightweight banger. We were actually just talking about this guy, or at least I was. Ignacio Bahamondes. You know who I'm talking about. Ignacio Bahamondes coming in against Tofiq Musayev. I know that has nothing to do with Ignacio Bahamondes, but every time I say the name Ignacio, I think of that for some reason. I just want to say Ignacio. That man bled for us on Saturday. That's the main point of contention that I want to tell here. Again, I'm going to pour up my shot for this instead of pouring it up for the loss from Chase Hooper that I was supposed to do it for next. It just feels like more of a celebratory thing, and I'm in the keep it up mood. You know what I'm saying? Not the let it down mood. So
I like it.
Let's go ahead and do that. I mean, again, this fight had everything that you want as an MMA fan. It was exciting. It was explosive. It was unrelenting in every fucking way, shape, and form. I mean, again, the only thing it didn't have that UFC fans want is fairness in scoring and correctness in scoring and point taking when rules are broken. We didn't see any of that. That is something that we did not see at all. It was it left the chat, as the kids say. So cheers to both fighters being warriors. One a little bit more than the other because he didn't fucking cheat, you know. And just mainly cheers to Ignacio Bahamondes. May you hopefully get your win bonus as well. Cheers.
Salute to the fight of the
Did
night.
get an extra 100K though.
Much deserved.
Yeah, I got to tell you, having a professional loss added to my record that will stick with me for the rest of my life, I'd be pretty fucking upset. I would be very angry, to be quite frank. But finding out a couple of hours after that instead of getting like what this guy's probably on like a 16-16 deal, 24-24 at best, like to find out that I'm, you know, best case scenario, I was thinking I was going to get 32K to 48K if I win. I lost and I either got 116 or 124. Pretty good night for me. Pretty good night in the fucking office. Being an optimist, you know, if I was a transformer, they say I'd be Optimist Prime. Yeah,
I saw that from a mile away. I knew that was coming.
I've been using that for so many years. I think I invented that joke, bro. Like when I was a young man. I told you that joke back at the Yelp days, I think.
100%.
Nano's been putting up with that shit for 8 years, and he can attest that I'm sometimes
It's a
way too
staple.
optimistic.
It's a staple. But it's a
I
good
appreciate
one.
it, brother.
It's a good one.
So with that, like, I mean, Pip, I'll let you take the lead on this one because there's so much meat on the bones. I don't know that you could take it all off all by yourself. Let's hear it.
No, there's definitely a lot to talk about, but I mean, it was a phenomenal fight. And I mean, like you said, Unc, I mean, it was the bloodiest fight it's probably going to be the bloodiest fight of 2026. I mean, like you said, I mean, too many fouls just kind of went uncalled for my liking, but it was a good win for Tofiq nonetheless. I mean, started out kind of measuring the distance. Both guys were making reads, a lot of hand fighting, but once we got to the second round, it was a war, and it became the fight that I thought it was going to be. I mean, almost immediately, Bahamondes backs Tofiq up against the cage, throws a lot of jab feints, switches the stance. Tofiq thinks we're starting similar to round one, and then out of a twitch of Tofiq, Bahamondes clips him with a nasty straight hand and puts Tofiq down. He almost gets the knockout. And then here's where we start seeing the issues happening. I mean, Bahamondes almost gets the suplex. Tofiq double fists the cage and was able to turn it around. Got Bahamondes on the ground, proceeded to unload some nasty elbows, punches that were bouncing the head off the canvas, and then a headbutt. I mean, it just kind of completely changed the fight, and I'm happy that DC harped on it for as much as he did. I mean, round three was definitely a lot cleaner. Both guys hurt each other. Bahamondes had a good spinning elbow. Tofiq had solid 2 threes and hurt Bahamondes a few times. Actually did get him to the ground and did some more nasty work. Bahamondes, I mean, he definitely needs to work on getting off of his back. Just kind of threw up some sloppy submissions, held him in full guard. Didn't really try to shrimp out or no feet on the hips. But that's not to say that Tofiq didn't do a lot right outside of the fouls. I mean, it was a great fight. It was a good win for Tofiq. But it was just the fouls, man. That was the biggest problem on this one. But Nano, what'd you think on this one?
Yeah, man. No, hell of a fight, like you said. Nothing but violence, nothing but blood, and a lot of back and forth. And I think that's what made it fight of the night for me, as well as for Dana White and the brass, because this one had everything you wanted to see: high level mixed martial arts, some good takedowns, some good defense, some solid striking. I did feel like that first round, and I'm a big fan of Ignacio. Not just for the soundbite that we play here often, but I like him as a fighter. I like his size and his frame, and I think he does a lot of things well. And this guy, Tofiq, man, he's tough. He puts the emphasis on the TOF there in his name because that guy is tough as shit, man. And I think that he's a little bit sharper than Ignacio tonight. I'm sure if they run it back, maybe there's some different outcomes, especially when you see how close he was, like you mentioned, to getting out of there. But solid fight, and it's a game of slim margin of error, game of inches, if you will. And so Tofiq just barely nosed out against Ignacio in my book, though obviously it was not necessarily that close. But I like Ignacio a lot. Hopefully he bounces back, like you said. MMAnomaly, my brother. What stood out to you in this bout, brother?
Look, like you guys were saying, this one was definitely fight of the night for a reason, right? But talk about adding insult to injury, right? Tofiq Musayev got the nod despite blatantly cheating. He headbutted. He got multiple fence grabs. I counted at least 2 myself. One of them, as I believe it was Pip alluded to, was position changing, was fight changing potentially. I forget. I think it was the second or third round, but either way, like I digress. These fouls have to be fucking called. And technically, Musayev's grappling was slick. When he got it to the mat, chain wrestling, back takes, he looked really good. And as, again, Pip stated, his opponent wasn't doing a whole lot to shrimp out and really better his position there on his back. But the fence work was illegal and should have cost him in some of those positions. Bahamundez outstruck him on the feet, had cleaner distance kicks and jabs, but could not stuff the takedowns late. Again, a little bit assisted by the fence grabs. I thought Ignacio did enough even so to get the win, and especially if the judges had actually, been paying attention enough to take a fucking point, or the ref for that matter. The fight of the night bonus would have just been a bonus on top of getting another win in his professional career for Ignacio Bahamundez, who rightfully deserved to have his hand raised. Ref was having a smoke break. Congrats to Musayev. Yeah, 100%, bro. Oh, man. Man. I just want to enjoy the event in person. Oh, I love that. Oh, were you at the event in person, bro? I forgot. It's only cheating if you get caught, Grimy. Yeah, you're absolutely right, brother. That's fair. They used to say in NASCAR, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Fouls are legal until they say something, Grimy. That's fair. Give Tofiq Mateos around Becky. Ooh, not bad at that. That Hooper stoppage was horrible, but he was likely to get TKO'd either. I picked Lance KO too. Yeah, he was definitely going to get knocked out. Ignacio and Yanez looking old AF all of a sudden, looks-wise. Yeah, I agree. That Yanez fight was close for sure. Bro, I thought Yanez did enough to win. I definitely thought Yanez did enough to win that fight. That was a weird one, bro. That was a very weird one. We'll get into it. But in this one, like I said, insult to injury. The man deserved to get his hand raised, but he didn't. I digress. Tofiq Musayev gets it done. What's next for him? We just talked about this guy. Didn't take a ton of damage in his fight. Terrence McKinney? Anybody? They're right next to each other on Tapology rankings in the lightweight division. Literally one number separating them. If our guy Terrence wants a quick turnaround, might be a guy. I might know a guy.
It could definitely make sense. I just wonder how long his face is going to need to heal from that big gash he took. Otherwise, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. You know the vibes.
He's on that secret juice, brother. It's going to heal up very quickly.
You're right about it. I know that.
I know you're right about it. I don't talk about it.
I was almost thinking like a Tofiq versus Nazarat or Bahamundez versus Drew Dober. I think that could be a fun match.
Bahamundez Dober I really like. And the other one I also like. I think Nazarat probably does work to Tofiq. And I'm not mad at it. Make the cheater pay. Make the cheater pay. Speaking of making people pay, make the people pay because the people pay for the pay-per-view. No. The people pay. That's why they pay for the pay-per-view. That's why the people pay. We had Chase Hooper in the lightweight division. My gosh, I feel like we've just been stuck at 155 on this breakdown show, folks.
We have
a lot of lightweights in a row. They say don't go chasing waterfalls, but hey, we found one anyway. A lightweight one. So we have Chase Hooper against Lance Gibson Jr. And man, fun fact, Lance Gibson Sr. fought on UFC 24 and UFC 29 back in the day. That's his pappy. Not a lot of guys who are like, yeah, my dad fought in the UFC, and so the fuck did I. But Lance Gibson Jr. is one of those guys. He can say that. His first UFC fight was not great, but he got a second chance, and Hooper gave him everything he needed. I said it in the breakdown, Pip. I really did. Like, thought this was Hooper's fight to lose. He has looked way better with the hands, but he still needs to rely on what got him to the dance, which is the grappling. I don't think he did that enough, which is tough to say, even though he shot 2 takedown attempts in 3 minutes. Again, did it too late. He did it after he was already hurt. He did it after he was already in damage, compromised even. The kicks were coming from every angle. The punches were coming to every angle. He was attacking the legs very quickly in the fight. And then from there, he went to the body. As soon as the hands started to lower, as Chase was eating those body shots in anticipation, he'd start ringing them to the head. And it was tough. Like, Chase was wobbled on his feet multiple times that I counted. Lance Gibson did get one knockdown and the finish via TKO round 1, 2 minutes and 56 seconds in. But I thought there were probably 2 or 3 moments where Chase was not 100% there, even though he was on his feet. It was very Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes-esque, the way that he was taking the shots, but not willing to go down onto his ass. Good on him. Tough kid, but man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The dude is a white Damian Maia. He's got to go to a fucking wrestling camp. He's got to work on takedown entries, because he's like that fucking movie. Fuck, I don't remember the movie. I'll have to look this up later. I'm going to beat myself up for not remembering the name of it. But there's these kids and they're like, oh no, these guys, they just don't know how to close. Their ability to open is the stuff of legend. They can talk to anybody, right? He's like the opposite. His ability to close, legendary. He doesn't know how to start the conversation of the takedown. He doesn't know how to chain wrestle. He doesn't know how to really bridge things together. And with that, I say,
send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
Because that would truly be what he needs. You don't even have to send him all the way out of the country. Just send him to San Jose, folks. 6 months. True. 6 months at AKA, and I tell you, this boy will be a different fucking caliber of fighter. He'll look different. Secret Russian juice. But I digress. Lance Gibson got it done. He looked really fucking good out there. He looked crispy. One of the things that actually stood out most to me, because I always like to ask you guys, what did you learn? What stood out most to you in this fight, right? What stood out most to me about Lance Gibson Jr. was the level of patience that changed between his debut and this fight. The lights were not getting to him. You could tell it was very evident. He was taking this serious. I'm not saying he wasn't taking the first fight serious, but it's very different when you've already been here, right? That first day in the office, you don't even know where the fuck your desk is. After you've been here before, brother, we're working. We're cooking. We're going to work every day. And that's exactly what it felt like for Lance Gibson Jr. It felt like he was clocking in another day at the office, nothing to worry about, and just doing what he trained to do. So good fight. Great performance for Lance Gibson Jr. And you hate to see it for lightweight prospect Chase the Dream Hooper. Nano, what were your thoughts on the Dream?
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. I think the Dream is slowly becoming a nightmare, unfortunately. I love Chase Hooper. I loved the appeal he had, and I think just really being one of the youngest fighters, and hopefully he has some sort of statistics or something to go down for his legacy. But as he's matured, like you said, I haven't seen him develop too much more than where he's at, especially when it comes to just the striking or the wrestling. Like, you really need to add a few more dimensions. But at the end of the day, these things happen. I mean, he got caught. Lance Gibson is an absolute stud. Shout out Matua, shout out Grimy. We see you guys chirping. Give Hooper some lasagna. Yeah, he needs something. I mean, he definitely needs to continue to develop, keep his head down, focus. But this guy, Lance Gibson's the real deal, Holyfield. I really like what I saw. I mean, that check elbow inside like that was absolutely nasty. And it just had Chase all out of sorts. And I think DC said it on one of the fights, but it's one of those things. Once you get rocked like that, I mean, it's hard to recover, man. It's hard to really bounce back, especially when you got someone like Lance that's just methodical like that in front of you. So is what it is, man. I don't know what's next for Chase, but Lance will make you dance for another contender potentially here. Brother, Pitt, what'd you think, man? How'd you feel about this one?
Yeah, I mean, you guys took a lot of meat off the bone on this one, but I mean, it's definitely a spectacular KO from Gibson. Just a perfect elbow, the way he framed out, pushes Chase's heads back, landed that shot. I mean, it was pretty satisfying to watch. Gibson had sharp head movement from the boxing of Chase Hooper, defending the takedowns really well by just kind of muscling out and landing some good shots and elbows as Chase was just kind of holding on. I mean, like you said, I mean, he didn't have much takedown, offense to do with it. He would kind of just grab a leg and really hope for the best. Chase was getting hit. I mean, he had to let it go. I mean, you saw a few issues on the defense from Gibson. He ate some kicks, getting out of range, and the hands would drop. But other than that, I mean, he looked pretty sharp in the striking. Chase was really fixated on getting that fight to the ground. He was kind of, tying up the clinch. But that was also Chase's biggest downfall. I mean, he's really focusing on getting in the clinch and kind of tying up the arms. He kind of used that 2-on-1 grip, and he was open to that elbow. Framed the head up. Chase had both hands on one arm of Gibson. Just landed it flush. I mean, nasty kicks that crumbled Chase to the ground after that, and just kind of added some extra job securities with the follow-up shots. I mean, I'm very excited to see Gibson back in there. I mean, if as far as for what's next for him, I'd love to see him in there with a Michael Johnson. I think that could be a really fun fight.
I thought you were going to think I was crazy for saying Michael Johnson, bro.
Absolutely not.
I love that. I had literally Michael Johnson and Mateusz Raumbecki.
Mateusz.
Yeah, I love the Michael Johnson shot. No, who you got?
Man, yeah. I mean, I think that is a good range. I do like it. Yeah. I almost feel like I like. A part of me feels like he's young, right? Or am I fearless? How old is he? I mean, he's 10-2. Oh, he's 31. Okay, so he's not like
he's still not in fight prime yet. He's still got 4 years left.
Yeah, he's still got some time. What about
Plenty of tread on the tires?
I like Mason the Dragon Jones, 30 years old.
Oh, I was looking at that, but that's a scary prospect, bro.
That's scary, dude. But that's kind of an Icarus effect. But man, I like both those guys.
Not mad at it.
I like anyone in that range, though. Just to throw another name
I'm not
out.
mad at that fight. Mason Jones is a fun shout, Nano. That's definitely a fun shout.
Dangerous fight, too.
Very dangerous fight. For Chase the Dream Hooper, I think there's two really viable options, if I'm being honest here. Matt the Steamroller Favola and Kyle the Monster Nelson.
I like Steamroller, too. I do like Steamroller.
Steamroller's on 3 losses back-to-back. He's not...
Matt's on
beggars
my
can't be
list.
choosers.
Oof, yeah. Exactly that.
Yeah, 100%. I like Matt. He's on my list, too.
You have anybody else on your list, Pip, for Chase?
No, I literally just had Matt Favola. I think that would be an amazing fight.
That's the
I'm
one that's
right
on
on
top of
board
my
with
list
that.
for him. Yeah. I'm definitely on board with that. So
That's
the train moves
unanimous.
forward. Speaking of fights and fights that I got wrong, we have Marcin Tybura in the heavyweight division coming in against Tyrell Fortune. I wish I could have seen my fortune or had my fortune read because I got this one wrong, folks. Shit. It's tough to see. I'll be honest, though. I thought I got it right watching the fight. 85-49 on total strikes, 47-30 on significant strikes. Seems like Tybura win to me. Not the most exciting fight, but the judging still felt off in this one, right? Like Tybura outlanded Fortune almost 2-1 overall, and again by 17 significant strikes. Mostly with Chris jabs, low kicks from a distance while controlling the center. Fortune's pressure was there, but volume was low, and he relied on clinch knees that were not super effective, in my opinion. Tybura could have done better by mixing in takedowns a little bit more often, right? He only attempted 1 takedown in the entirety of the fight. He could have used that to capitalize on the striking edge instead of staying at range and trying to pick his opponent apart. Still, Fortune got the nod. Wrestling in top pressure gets it done for him. And, I guess it makes sense from a certain point of view, as Obi-Wan would say. Pip, what were your thoughts on this one? Did you think that the judges got this one correct or not?
No, I actually was. I thought Tyrell did enough to get it done. I mean, I thought he looked fairly decent in his debut against a number 8 contender. And I will say, I mean, the judges and Bruce kind of made me a little nervous announcing the wrong name. But they fixed it, and I'm sure Tyrell was terrified as well. But I mean, honestly, I thought Tyrell was having more success mostly everywhere. I mean, I thought he found good 1-2s, showed a lot of better footwork than Tybura, just kind of moving on the outside of range. He would, when he would engage, he could reach him. And he found that right hand as well, and that was money every time that it landed. He didn't have a lot of sting to it, but it was definitely starting to cause some issues. And I think surprisingly, the footwork was causing Tybura issues as well. He couldn't find the range, would get clipped by Fortune from the outside. Tyrell was able to kind of get in the pocket as well, land that 2-3 and step back out of range. And Tyrell did have some really nice time takedowns as well. I mean, he kind of lure him back and forth. Tybura would come in, get ready to throw a straight. Tyrell found that double leg with ease. Tybura would, get up. Tyrell did a good job of just dragging him back down as well. But I mean, overall, welcome to the UFC, and it was a good win. And I think it definitely showed us that he can compete at this level.
I can't be mad at that breakdown. Nano, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, solid breakdown and a somewhat solid heavyweight fight. I think it's always hit or miss, as we know with these big boys. Could always be excitement, could be an early finish, or when you hear a heavyweight decision, you think, it might be a little bit more of a boring fight. But this was a solid bout. You got a little bit of everything. I think this definitely, amongst other fights as well, just reiterated the point that questionable judging. I don't know what they were seeing. I usually am not one to comment or be critical, but boy, this one, well, I guess this is them getting it wrong, but then there's another fight, I'm kind of insinuating here, looking ahead, but yeah, just a little off night, but it would, interesting bout for sure.
Interesting bout, and also worth noting, the main card, this might be one of the first times I've ever noticed it at the very least. Main card was 100% finish ratio.
Crazy.
Every single fight was
I don't know if I've ever seen that. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever. Doesn't happen often, to tell you that much.
Not very often at all. So good on you for noticing the leaves on the fight card when we have a bouquet of fucking roses in the main card, brother. Appreciate that. Paying homage to the decision wins of the night, like the Marcin Tiboras of the world. Speaking of the Marcin Tiboras and the Tyrell Fortunes of the world, do you have a name on the tip of your tongue for what's next for young Fortune?
I don't. I mean, it's a thin roster. I think anyone potentially close to being ranked, or even like a Mick Parkin, I guess. Oh, now he's number 10. See, that just goes to show. I'm like, they threw him all the way up there. I didn't even see his name. I was expecting around 14, 15. Well, Ante Delija. I mean, if he's sitting there, if he doesn't have a dance partner, I think that might make sense. I don't want to skyrocket him too much higher. We got hot balls in front of him, and
Ante Delija does not have a dance partner. I'd be happy with him or Derek Hot Balls Lewis.
Oh, you like hot balls? Oh,
I do.
Okay.
I think that's a fun matchup for him.
Yeah, Ante's on my list as well, especially because I think Tybura was ranked number 8 when they fought, so I figured he was at least getting pole vaulted into those rankings. So I like Ante as well.
Hey there, Elijah. Welcome to the heavyweight division. Speaking of welcome to the division, welcome back to the flyweight division, Casey O'Neill. Didn't her nickname used to be Cast Iron Casey O'Neill? Now it's King Casey O'Neill. I don't know. Either fucking way. Let's fucking go, bro. Nano likes hot balls. Clip. Yeah, clip that. Clip him saying I like hot balls. You like hot balls?
Clip it.
I do like hot balls. So King Casey O'Neill comes in after a layoff of God knows how long, like 2 years almost outside of the octagon. Injuries and different setbacks outside, gets to the cage, boys. And I'm not sure if you know this or not. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but they didn't give her a right glove for her fight. I love the looks on your faces. You haven't heard this. So she alluded on the Helwani show today. I'm going to pour up another shot as I tell you this story, boys, that she was given 2 left-hand gloves to put on. And she then gets a knockout with her right hand in a left-handed glove. And Helwani's like, oh my God, that's so unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, it's a good luck. I think it's a good luck thing. I'm going to keep asking for the 2 left-hand gloves. She got a knockout in the UFC. 3 minutes and 11 seconds in. 3 minutes and 11 seconds is all it took. She said, no right glove, no problem. They gave her 2 left gloves and she turned it into a fucking good luck charm. Like I said, nasty KO, beautiful jab cross setup, and then just lead hook. Drops Fernandez. She looked disgustingly clean with the boxing in this fight. This is hands down, or rather hands up, the best her boxing I think has ever looked or been on display in the UFC. I have never seen her look like this, and it's very rare, but not unheard of to say maybe this time off, whether it's a year, 2, 3 years, was a good thing for her. Maybe it was a benefit for her. Like, again, I interviewed Alyssa Maldonado last week, and she had 7 years off between her first and second MMA fight, amateur, and she's still undefeated. So with that being said, sometimes these fighters need a minute, whether it's to clear the cobwebs up here or the cobwebs across their body that have built up over the time and duration of their fight career. I'm stoked. I'm stoked on Casey O'Neill. I'm so happy she's back. I think she's a great character for the UFC and just a great fighter for the UFC. Typically puts on exciting scraps. This is another one of those to add to the list. And I truly think we have a reinvigorated and healthy Casey O'Neill back. And that is a vast fucking problem, boys. That is a vast problem for the rest of the flyweight division for these women. So cheers to you if you're still locked in an hour and 20 minutes into this thing. We appreciate you. We're almost through. We're almost through it, folks. Appreciate you for sticking it through. Cheers.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. So for that, we thank you. We appreciate you.
Alyssa, mi corazón.
Mi corazón.
My guy. I love it. I love it. That just felt like the right thing to play for that. No. I think I had you go next last time. I faked him out there. Pip, what were your thoughts on this one, bro?
No, I mean, what a knockout from Casey O'Neill. Kind of more of a Chuck Liddell style-esque kind of knockout. Blitz in, unloaded some heavy shots. Only thing holding up Fernandez, I mean, it just was the fence. Both ladies were having a tough time finding the range. Eventually, Casey found that left hand. Just really nice work. Caught her as she was rushing in with kind of a left check overhand kind of style of hook. And Fernandez just, had her hands down, landed right on the chin, hurt Fernandez bad, and just swarmed her with pressure. Fernandez didn't have any answer and was getting pieced up, and she was out on her feet. Very impressive performance from Casey O'Neill. And I mean, like you said, she's looking like a real problem. If she can, got her striking this good and that amount of time off, I'm looking forward to seeing what she's going to be able to do back in there, especially with the grappling threat that she already possesses. What do you got on this one, Nano?
Yeah, Casey O'Neill is definitely trending in the right direction. That was a hell of a performance. Her opponent, Gabriela Fernandez, looked like the bigger, more imposing fighter in there. And I didn't really like a lot of her movement. I thought it was a little herky-jerky. I found it was like kind of easy to get some of the patterns and some of the reads. Just the same movements, in and out, side to side, hands down. And I think Casey O'Neill was able to get her reads pretty quick there. Obviously hit her, starched her with one of those left hands, or one of those hands, one of the jabs rather. And then, absolutely pummeled her from there. Great awareness from Casey O'Neill to see the blood in the water, and completely put her lights out. I think it was a flash knockout, and then completely Windows XP, shut down her freaking lights there in her opponent Gabriela. So thank you, MMAnomaly, right on cue as always. Hell of a performance though. Can't wait to see what's next for Miss O'Neill.
Definitely can't wait to see what's next for O'Neill. I have actually 3 names on the tip of my tongue for this one. I would not mind seeing her fight, and I'm actually going to lead with the top 2 and then come down to the bottom of as far as rankings sets these ladies and their precedent, because I'd like to see her fight the last pick more. Okay, selfishly. So Tracy Cortez, no dance partner, ranked ahead of her. Lackluster UFC career, in my humble opinion. I think King Casey probably beats her up. Miranda Fear the Maverick. I think that's another really, really fun one. And then last but certainly not least, this is the one that my heart of hearts wants. But I know that this girl does not have to fight down, right? She should be fighting up. The Joker, Wong Kong, who, fun fact, has a Muay Thai kickboxing win over Valentina Shevchenko many years ago.
Whoa. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, I really like Miranda Maverick on that.
Yeah, I like Miranda Maverick a lot, and I also like Wong Kong, obviously. Too much.
I like both of those names as well. I think if I'm going to add anyone else into the chat here, maybe even a Thug Rose. I don't know if that's too juicy. But,
Thug Rose!
Thug Rose coming off a loss. Casey's coming off a win. Both are solid names. They've been around the block for a while. Similar body types and styles, obviously, going out there to looking to strike. Shout out Grimy. Great analysis there. Man, I think that'd be another name I'd throw in the ring too. But any of them can't go wrong with.
Speaking of throwing a name in the hat or throwing a name in the ring or just throwing a prediction out into the air, Pip, I believe you were here, sat in that very same seat last week when I said, look, Navajo Sterling, I know. he hasn't been the most exciting fighter inside of the UFC in his UFC run. But, and it is a great but though.
Well said.
I told you he was going to get back to form. I knew he was going to come out there and get a finish this weekend. And I knew that Bruno Lopez, I said, when, not if, when he comes out here and gets this win over Bruno Lopez and gets the finish. As Lady Gaga once said, we don't talk about Bruno. And so we don't talk about Bruno anymore. Instead, we talk about Navajo Sterling. Nano, tell us what you thought about these light heavyweight studs.
Yeah, both guys are studly in their own way. Bruno definitely proved to be tough as nails and really wanted to try to get the wrestling established, but went 0 for 8 on those takedowns. Navajo looked absolutely sharp. And I'm not just talking about how shredded he looked and how big he is, but just absolute textbook defense, fundamental, displayed all the fundamentals when it comes to the striking pedigree and absolutely put away his opponent in a Bruno Lopez. I mean, it should have been stopped maybe a little bit sooner even, if I'm being, just protective of the fighters. But hey, in honor of giving them every chance, boy, the refs were giving these fighters every chance to go out there and try to, make a comeback, or as the commentary was saying, go out there and earn more money for their family, which I understand. But boy, Navajo that was just an absolute clinic. Pip, what, I know you got some good X's and O's, my brother. What did you see? What stood out to you? What made Navajo so gosh darn dominant in there?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely predicting a decision. I mean, Olin, you were definitely right about that. I mean, he got the knockout spectacular fashion, got back to form, but he almost got the fucking decision with how the ref was. I mean, what do you got to do to get a knockout around here?
Did you see him stop and look at the ref? I think after the elbow landed, he's like,
"Yeah, dude, come on,
like, brother." He's like, "Do you want me to kill this fucking guy? What do you need me to do exactly?"
Just square on his face, like, jeez.
It was bad. It was bad. But I mean, very impressive performance. I think I had a stroke there from Navajo Sterling. I mean, he's looking like a very promising contender. Sharp striking, utilizing that reach. Sterling landed some good right hands, good knees, defending all the takedowns well, and he didn't rush in. He wasn't swarming trying to get the finish, and he got his first one because of it. Calculated shots, found the rhythm. He was very patient. Caught Bruno against the fence, landed that nasty right hand, and just landed an elbow that started unloading some serious shots. As soon as Bruno hit the floor, it was done. I was yelling, "Stop the fight," and it kept going, and it kept going. He caught Bruno was trying to get up, and Sterling kind of just looked at him, and he said, "Did I just catch you wanting to be something?" Just held the foot, make sure he couldn't get up. He just kept him down, kept landing some bombs. And the ref still said, "I haven't seen enough." Bruno went back.
Eternity later.
Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. Sterling proceeded to then land some more heavy shots from on top. And then finally, Key said, "All right, I don't like it anymore. It's over 1.5. I've won my bet. Let's stop the fight." But damn, dude. I mean, he's now on a 4-fight win streak. I'm excited to see him back in there. But I don't know if you guys have any names on the tip of your tongues for this guy or not.
Nano, what you got?
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster right now. I mean, man, I think I saw Kutalaba was mentioned, I think, at one point. I think that's a solid shout for sure. So, a guy that's coming off a win is in similar neck of the woods when it comes to the rankings. I don't know if I want to throw him in the top 15 just yet, but I like that realm, and I guess and I don't like putting two guys from the same country necessarily together here, but a Jimmy Crute as well. I mean, that one overseas might be a banger. Crute the Brute. But yeah, I think that kind of ballpark. I think I need to see one more before getting thrown into that top 15 conversation.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm definitely not mad at that. The other names that I had on the tip of my tongue were Dustin the Hanyak Jacoby, but he's coming off 3 back-to-back wins, so he probably doesn't want to fight down. Outside of that, someone that's coming off of losses is Alexander the Rakic, coming off 4 back-to-back losses, 3 by way of TKO. And then, Nano, I know you said you don't want him to go too high, but if the UFC wants their shiny new toy to really climb quick, we can do a Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill, coming off 3 back-to-back losses, 2 by way of TKO. I think those are all kind of recipes made in heaven for a UFC matchmaker, especially if you're trying to build Navajo Sterling up on his undefeated reign. Pip, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I really like a shout out for Kutabella. I think that's a perfect fight. If I'm picking somebody else, Nikita Krylov I think could be a fun matchup. But I have to say I like Kutabella for his next fight. I like his call out.
I like it. Yeah, I'm not mad. Who left that comment? Was that Grimy? Yeah, Grimy. My guy. Yeah, give Navajo E1. That would be fire. Could do an Australia show fight night with Crute versus Sterling. Oh, I'd love that. Oh, Hill is at heavyweight now. What a terrible decision for him. Sorry. It's called the No Filter Show, bro. It just feels like a bad decision. You're getting knocked out by light heavyweights. You can't think that that's a great fucking move. No. As bad as Austin Lane being like, I'm getting knocked out by 265 pounders. Let me cut 60 pounds of weight and see what happens when I deplete the lining around my fucking brain and fight a knockout artist. Nothing good. Speaking of nothing good, let's talk about another fight, folks. Let's talk about a bantamweight banger between Ricky Simon coming in against Adrian Yanez, who of course defeated racism in the UFC octagon just a few short years ago. We're talking about a banger between two bantamweight fucking studs. Worst tattoo in UFC history. Which one? Oh, hamburger helper hands. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, that should be who Jamal Hill fights next, the tattoo artist that did those hamburger helper hands. I can't help but feel like he deserves it, you know? As they say in WWE, you deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of deserving things, Pip, I thought my guy, Yanez, I thought he deserved this. I thought he deserved the win here, the nod here, but I digress. Give the people that Pip breakdown that they're craving.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I picked Simone, and either way, it didn't kind of go the way anybody picked. I don't know if I agree with the call. It was an entertaining fight, like you said, but it was very close. So I get the argument for a draw, but I thought Adrian took it 29-27, winning rounds 1 and 3. Both guys, I mean, they were slugging it out. Yanez definitely edged it with the boxing, just sharp, fast counters and combinations. Cut Ricky in the third round and even dropped him with a nasty right hook. Ricky was tough enough to not go out, and Ricky had the better grappling and was able to, secure a few takedowns, but didn't really do anything with him. I thought if it went to the scorecards, it did go to the scorecards, but I thought if it was going to, I thought Yanez was definitely going to get the win based off of damage from what I saw, but the judges, they scored it a draw. Kind of a disappointing for such a really good fight. Well, what'd you think on this one, Nano?
Yeah, I mean, I think our boy Adrian Yanez got robbed, man. And I'm a big Adrian fan. I thought this was a great bout going into it on paper. I was excited to see the stylistic matchup between a slick counter striker like Adrian Yanez versus a dominant wrestler and someone that likes to make it a bloodbath in there in a Ricky Simon. I don't know how the judges were seeing that, brother. I thought it was 1-1 for sure going into that.
This is the craziest thing. Like, look what Grimy just said. Yanez got 2 10-8s in round 3 and got a draw. How the fuck does that happen?
So they both thought that he was losing the fight, which to me, I don't know how you gave Ricky 2 out of the first 2. Like, maybe 1, but that was, again, that first round. I mean, he was getting pieced up. And he got dropped, if I'm not mistaken. Or it was a flash knock. I don't know if it was considered a knockdown, but definitely was knocked down in the third round and almost finished. Which, again, I mean, the optics of that, and even if it was 1-1, which is arguable, I thought could have easily been Yanez 2-1, if anyone. But 1-1, you go even split, fair. Wow. How is that not? Yeah, 10-8 for sure. And how is that not a win? I mean, geez. You just feel like that both these guys got robbed. One, because there was no one was victorious. And let's be real. I think Adrian got robbed, man. And this is why I feel like the judging was just a little off. But MMAnomaly, get me off my soapbox here. How'd you feel about this fight?
I felt completely the same as you and Pip here, bro. About ready to do another shot because of this fucking bullshit call. Adrian Yanez clearly won the first round. There was 0 seconds of control time on either side of the octagon, and he outlanded him on total and significant strikes, 16-12. Fast forward to round number 2. I can understand the argument that Yanez won. Or sorry, that Simone won the second round. He had 2 minutes and 6 seconds of control time compared to 0 from Yanez. Again, that's a big trump card. But even though he outlanded him 23-16 on total strikes in that round, he did so with a lowered accuracy clip, and they evened out on significant strikes, 15-15. For me, that's almost an even round. But again, if you want to give it to Ricky, that's fine. Because in round 3, let's talk about it, boys. 6 seconds of control time for Yanez, 0 for Ricky Simón. Knockdown for Adrian Yanez, 40-17 on significant strikes, 41-17 on total strikes. I had Yanez 1-3. Chris, same. Like, I watched it, I rewatched it, I had 1-3 Yanez. Like, that's it, bro. That's literally it. And I got to go back to this from Grimy. Yanez got 2 10-8s in the third round and got a draw. On what fucking God's green earth does this happen logistically, folks? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So we're not going to play matchmaker for this one. I just don't think it makes sense. There's no winner in this fight, so run it back, I guess. I don't know. Let's talk about this last fight. I'm going to pour up a final shot because I did get this one wrong. I was not going to put anything on it, but I was coerced by my lovely chat to put a unit on it, and Pip encouraged as well. Pip owes me a shot on the weekend for sure for this one.
I believe
Cheers,
I told you
folks.
to pick Alexa, to be fair.
You did, but you agreed when the chat was saying I should at least sprinkle at like plus 550 odds.
I'll take a shot with you this weekend.
You know what I'm saying? Cheers, folks. Cheers, folks. To not being able to get it right every time, but at least hopefully getting it right most of the time. Cheers, folks.
Salud.
That's a 10-8 round in the third period. 100%. 100%, bro. That's like, we're supposed to be doing 10-8s more liberally. I got to move on from this fight before I get a fucking aneurysm. My eye is actually twitching talking about this goddamn fight. I don't know if you can tell. It's literally twitching my eyelid. Goddamn. Moving into the women's strawweight division, we have a battle between Alexia Tainara and Bruna Brazil. Just going to call a spade a spade. This one did not go as I anticipated. It was a rematch. History. I don't know if you guys are big history buffs, but not always. Not always. Often, but not always. Is history bound to repeat itself? Sometimes you have great historians like this wise scholar named Pips Piano Tips that tries to tell you such things. Even when, I mean, you might as well be constipated because you couldn't give a shit about what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make those bets anyway. So we did, and we missed, and we were pissed, and we appreciate Alex Pip. So about the fight, though, Alexia Tainara, man, she looked pretty fucking good in there, didn't she? She got it done in the rematch, like I said. Bruna just didn't seem to have an answer for really anything that Tainara was throwing. The clinch work was dominant. She mixed in knees and short elbows while controlling the posture against the fence. Really used her size and strength advantage that she obviously had over Bruna in there. And she stuffed most of Bruna's takedowns, right? Like, and by most, I mean all, because Bruna only attempted one. It was few and far between. Meanwhile, Tainara attempted 11 fucking takedowns. Boys, like, in a women's strawweight fight, you're attempting 11 fucking takedowns?
That's fucking illegal.
Brother, what do you think you are? Shabib Nurmagomedov, brother? Let's not do that and say we did. But again, Bruna's striking looked very flat. Never really found the range that she was looking for against somebody like Tainara out there, which is crazy because she was able to do it the first time they fought. I don't know. Tainara could have opened up more volume on the feet, but the wrestling edge was decisive, so she didn't really need to. I don't really know what's next, but I do have a couple of suggestive names here. Pip. Or who went first last time? Nanu.
No idea.
Right?
I don't remember. I think it was. I finished it off. I went last.
Pip. Let's hear it, brother.
Yeah, this was definitely more as predicted. But like you said, I mean, sometimes those odds are so nice, I don't even listen to myself. But yeah, Alexia, I mean, she's definitely evolved since her first fight. Pretty much just a dominating win, honestly. The first round was the most competitive. Bruno found a few shots from the outside, landed a nice elbow that started Alexia's forehead swelling pretty quick. But Alexia, I mean, she started landing some good shots and got herself back into this fight. She was blitzing forward. While kind of reckless, it was still very effective. Alexia was able to catch most of the kicks and would take her down off of those kicks. Bruna Brazil definitely needs to do some work off of her back. She was just kind of holding Alexia on top. She was able to, kind of just let a lot of control time, slip away. And then Alexia was able to land some really good shots from full guard. After the second round, Bruna was very hesitant. She was backing up and retreating, wasn't landing her own offense, and Alexia was just doing a great job mixing it up. I mean, leg kicks, body, head combinations, knees. She won the fight everywhere. She was, able to outstrike her, land more takedowns, get more control time. It was a really good win for Alexia. But what do you got on this one, Nano?
Yeah, overall dominant performance. Great breakdown, boys here. But yeah, I mean, overall, man, it was Alexia is strong, man. She's 28 years old. She's continuing to look better and better in there. And I think that's the one thing that sticks out with me is looking at the rankings and where she is right now in the 13th spot after a dominant win. Again, to reiterate, like, sky's the limit for this girl. I'd be curious to see where she goes next. But there are quite a few gals that are a little bit on the back nine of their career, you can say, for sure. But she matches up well with a lot of them just based on what we saw this last Saturday. So Alexia is definitely gonna be fighting higher on the cards as she continues to get stack these wins and have that number next to her name. So I like what I'm seeing from Alexia. I think she's legit, man. Legit.
She is very legit, brother. She's very legit. And Grimy, just fucking a week late almost, but I mean, appreciated either way. It's 63% of rematches. The winner wins again, but we didn't break it down by WMMA. I think that's was the downfall. I'm asking Grok, my handy dandy AI tool here, to do that for me. And let's see here.
For tonight's history
wow.
of women MMA,
okay,
it's
all right,
50-50.
all right. It's actually worse because we should have cashed, boys. We should have cashed. In short, it gave me like 6 paragraphs, but it says, in short, the stat for female UFC rematches appears to be much higher than the overall 63%, likely in closer to 80 to 88% range for the original winner prevailing again based on lighter division and women's title reigns or women's MMA. So 80 to 88%. It's 88% in title rematches and 80% in regular rematches.
Damn.
We had a 1 in 5 chance to lose. And God said, not today. That's tough. That's tough. But sometimes that is the way that the cookie crumbles. Vanel, my friend, how you doing? Love to see you here. Also love the name. It's a great one. Isla is such a beautiful first name. Grimy, no shit, Jesus. I'm betting all rematches. At 80%, you'll end up no matter. Dude, exactly, dude. It's like the contender series, the dog bets. We were up like 5 units last season. We started half through the season. We're doing that again. We're doing it again. A unit on every single underdog. I think last year we did a half unit. We said if we were up, we're gonna do a unit. A unit on every underdog for the contender series. These bets will go into a different betting doc. We'll measure it. It's a test. It's a test. We're not doing any research on these. We're just a dog's a dog. You know what I'm saying? And typically, dog barks in the backyard, as they say.
Absolutely, that they do. That they do.
A wise man named Nate Lamware once said, "The dog barks in the backyard." You feel me? Dog barks in the backyard, baby. Being an MMA fighter is like loving the girl in the hood. You might love her, but she ain't never gonna love you back. That was such a good line, bro. That's such a good line, dude.
That's the best one right there.
I'm rolling with the underdog contender bet too. Let's fucking go. I remember you saying that last season. You were like, if you guys end up units, I'm going to follow you guys next year. We did end up units. I think it was like 4.5 or 5.5, but We're up units. That's all we need. All we need, brother, is a little skrill to play with. You know what I'm saying? A little cushion for the pushing of these bets. These here bets. This was a hell of a fucking fight card, boys. I can't deny it. Before we call it a show, I know it's getting late for you, Pip. We're going to keep you a couple minutes longer because I got to ask you this. Just taking the gloves off, right? Taking off the analytics. What were your thoughts on this card, top to bottom? It's a gymnastics performance. You have to give a gymnastics score between 1 and 10. 9.9, like the decimals fucking count. What are you giving this card? And is this thus far the best UFC fight card of the year?
This has by far been one of the best UFC cards of the year. And one thing that I'd like to add that kind of makes it a little bit more... We got to see GOATs on the card. We got to see some banging knockouts, slash submissions, whatever you want to call them. We had some crazy things happen. And one thing that I'll give a little bit of sprinkle on the cake for is I was kind of saying this during our watch along is that I feel like Paramount has done a pretty good job at getting back to it. I mean, when I want to watch the fights, I'm able to. When I want to watch them in English, I'm able to. I had a few times where I was watching these bitches in Portuguese, so I'm happy they've kind of worked their shit out. I was able to actually sit back, watch the fights.
Eso!
And if I had to give it, I would give it I give it an 8.6 out of 10. That would be my rating on this card.
I love that. I'd literally give it an 8.5 or an 8.7. So 8.6 right in the middle. I'm very fucking happy with. And I would also agree with you. Lo and behold, best card of the year so far. Best card of the Paramount era. I think, like you said, they're starting to get their shit together. They're eating some magnets, whatever the fuck they got to do, but they're getting their shit together. And it shows, right? Like I had the same exact issue. I think I might've been the one to tell you like, hey, try it on the Portuguese stream. It worked for me. And I had that issue for like an hour, right? After maybe like 30 minutes, I was like, dude, I've missed 2 fights. One of them was a finish. This is bullshit. And then I clicked on Brazil and I was like, eso! I was screaming yes in fucking Portuguese, brother. Because I had the fights back. I don't need the commentary. I'll make my own. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we're doing a live stream. So they are definitely coming together like butt cheeks. Everything is coming together, I would say. Nano, what are your thoughts on the score, the gymnast score for this fight card?
I'm probably a little
it's
more
great
generous.
when everything comes together like butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Absolutely. I'm a little more generous than y'all. I'm gonna give it an 8.8. I wanted to give it a 9, but I think maybe a little more name power besides the Izzy Adesanya and Alexia Grasso would have certainly put over the top. But the entire main card having finishes going 5 for 5, you gotta love that. 9 total finishes on the card. And a couple retirements, so it had a good balance, a little bit of everything. A draw, I would say. It was just a good, well-balanced, proper fight card, and I'm gonna give it the 8.8, a couple extra points because I didn't expect it, right? I mean, I think we knew what to expect with the main and co-main event, but boy, this one over-exceeded expectations, so love what
I agree. I don't think any of us would have expected a finish on every single fight on the main card, and I have to address this comment, right? Grimy said, UFC should be investigated for what they're doing to poor Nico Price.
Federal fucking prison.
He didn't get a retirement video? Grimy, you may have arrived to the show late, but I'll say the analogy again. Like, imagine I'm getting married, and I'm in the middle of exchanging my vows with my significant other, and out of nowhere, Pip stands up. Not even when they're like, if anybody has any reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony, please speak now or forever hold your peace. Not even at that point. I'm exchanging wedding vows. And this motherfucker stands up and is like, by the way, me and my wife are pregnant, you guys. No big deal. I would punch Pip and then say, congratulations on the kid, bro. And sorry about the fucking black eye or whatever happened to your jaw in that exchange. Like, it's not about you. We've been planning this. Like, the people pay for the pay-per-view. They know I'm going to retire. The people pay. The people pay for Michael to retire. So like the people pay, you know, they all knew what was going into this. The Paramount pay for the retirement package. They're not going to do the same thing for Nico Price, who, like I said earlier, probably planned on retiring in his last fight, didn't get the second payday, right? He lost, has 7 mouths to feed and decided, hey, Chiesa's probably not going to do a ton of physical damage to me. I'll take a quick nap and I'll get that other half of that paycheck. Be able to call it quits like I promised my wife I would. Fun fact, Grimy, I was correct on that assessment because he absorbed 0 strikes, not 0 significant strikes. 0. Dude didn't even get hit. He just got choked out. Like, again, as somebody like who has been there, not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? You just take a little nap, you wake up and you're like, I'm good. Good times. Great job, kid. Solid grip. Thanks for the payday. So good on him. But you don't laugh it off, bro. Because he's like, I love the guy. He's had a lot of fights. He's been here for like probably a fucking decade. He has 2 knockouts from the bottom, which is 2 more than 98.5% of the fucking roster, I think. And that's great. That's great. We'll remember him. Us diehards will remember him. He basically got choked out for 10K. Sign me up. That's exactly. I literally earlier in my assessment, I was like, he's probably on 16 and 16 or 24 and 24 because that's the base assessment for I think 4 or 5 fights in the UFC. Or sorry, the 4th or 5th tier of fights in the UFC, and he's had a lot. So I'd imagine he's 16 and 16 or 24 and 24. So if you're expecting to get 48K and you only get 24, that's a tough night. You want to go back and get choked out and not get punched in the face. Get that other 24K, bro. This is what he did. As we say, he collected the bank. You know what I'm saying? We can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that. So with that, that's it. That's the show. We've broken down all the fucking fights. I appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals for staying. If you haven't already done so, like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. If you're drinking, drink one last one with me. I appreciate you for being here. And if not, that's fine too. Just make sure you refresh after the stream and leave another comment after we wrap the fuck up, kids. Cheers to you.
Appreciate y'all.
And if you laugh when we did that shot, if you didn't even drink water and you just pointed and laughed, that's fine too. Okay. I mean, we're not happy about it, but that's fine. Okay, we still appreciate you. We still respect you. As long as you do these last 2 things, we ask that you all keep on going and that you all keep on growing. And we really hope to see you here next episode. Let's go, folks.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.